In my first speech that I gave as my introduction speech, and probably the main thing that I did wrong was I got off topic too much. The reason why I did that, I wasn't really, it didn't sound off topic when I was coming up with it, um, but I just kind of got a little too into it and started rambling a little bit, added a little bit too much information. I think that was the main thing, and then I got off to different subjects. So I think that was the main thing that I did wrong. Um, I do think I talked very legibly or spoke very legibly, and that I did a pretty good job on it overall. I do think because I've had some prior speaking, I formatted it well. I tried to come up with an introduction, 3 points, and a conclusion. I think I did that right. So my second speech, I kept looking to the right like this a little bit, and I think instead I should have focused directly on the camera. I do think I had good verbal pitch and I had good hand movements, and I think that I stayed on topic very well. I progressed in that area. And that was the oral conversion speech. My third speech is my very first formal speech, my introduction speech. The main thing is I looked at my notes too much. That's the biggest downfall that I saw. I also kept repeating a couple of the same phrases over and over again. Something like that, or things like that, stuff like that. I said quite a bit. My mouth was dry, and I kept licking my lips or doing some. I could hear that in there. That was the main thing that I thought. I did format it well. I did do a good introduction. My points were good. My transitions were good. I think I followed the 5S or the 4S and the rules of introduction, the rules for the conclusion. I think I did strongly on those points. My lips are chapped right now. That's why I'm looking at them. My fourth speech, I still looked at my notes a lot, and even on this one, I've been looking at my notes quite a bit. And really, the reason there is because if I just write down a keyword, then I can't wing it very well, I don't guess. I like to have stuff practiced in my head. If I just write down a keyword, then I get into the ums and something like that and things like that, and I do stuff like that, or I'll ramble on. I kind of need more of a programmed way of doing things, I guess. So that is one thing that I need to work on. I do think overall I progressed. I made a lot better eye contact in that last speech than I did in my first few speeches. The only really problem, I still had to look down a lot to get my keywords, and so that took away from the eye contact. But I do think I addressed more of the audience, and I addressed them more often than in the first speech. I don't really feel like I was a little bit more comfortable in the last speech. I didn't use the same phrases over and over. I did get stuck on some things got caught up in my head. I wasn't sure where to go or how to transition, what to phrase things, how to transition them with my phrases. Overall, I do think I've improved in the course, and I do think I did a lot better on my last formal speech than I did on my first formal speech, and that I learned a lot about the way I talk and how to address those things. And this one's very long, just like my first one.